What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about Bob Iger, because Bob Iger is pretty much back running the Walt Disney Company as CEO, just like I said he was. I've been talking about this for over a month now, when they tried to say that Bob Chapek was the new CEO, and no one knew anything about this. It just came out of left field, and I said, Bob Iger is still running this company. Bob Iger has not stepped aside for Bob Chapek. This makes no sense whatsoever. Bob Iger is going to step down for a short period of time through the situation we're dealing with, and then he's going to come back in and he's going to save the day. Well, guess what? That is exactly what is happening right now. Bob Iger takes CEO responsibilities back from Chapek. Disney Company downsizing expected once dust settles from the situation, according to the New York Times. Now, again, I said this on March 29th, about 2 weeks ago. I said Bob Iger is still running Disney. If you want to go back a month ago, and I talked about it here, I said Bob Iger is still running Disney, or either there's a plan for him to swoop back in. I've questioned this nonstop since the announcement of Bob Iger steps down. So let's read a little more into it so you can get the full details. The Walt Disney Company has seen a number of changes in quick succession in the past few weeks, from appointing Bob Chapek to the new CEO to facing a crippling economic effects of the ongoing situation. Throughout the current crisis, however, only one voice from the upper echelons of the company has spoken out, and that's former CEO Bob Iger. A recent post from the New York Times delves deeper into the current circumstances surrounding leadership at Disney, from Bob Chapek's deafening silence to the potential of downsizing and restructuring within the company. In the New York Times piece, he covers how Bob Iger, in an attempt to transition into retirement, has been faced with reasserting control and reimagining Disney in a time of crisis. Essentially, he's quietly taken back his responsibilities while Chapek is still CEO. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? And now, Mr. Iger has effectively returned to running the company after a few weeks of letting Mr. Chapek take charge. Mr. Iger smoothly reasserted control. Blue Jeans video call by Blue Jeans video call. Disney does not... Okay. Now, the new normal chief executive is referred to almost kindergarten style as Bob C, while Mr. Iger is still just Bob, and his title is executive chairman, emphasis on the first word. Mr. Iger is now intensely focused on remaking a company that will emerge, he believes, deeply changed by the crisis. The sketch he has drawn for associates offers a glimpse at the post-pandemic future. It's a Disney with fewer employees, leading the new and uncertain business on how to gather people safely from entertainment, yada yada yada. So there's just a bunch of other stuff. So again, the point here is, I told you this was happening. I told you Bob Iger was still in charge. Anybody that looked at this situation objectively with any type of education on how Disney operates and how Bob Iger is operated as Disney CEO could tell you point blank, there's no way Bob Iger is not running things behind the scenes. They can say publicly that Chapek is the CEO, and they're still running with that nonsense, but Bob Iger is still pulling the strings. As long as Bob Iger is there, he is running things. There's no way Bob Iger is going to Bob Chapek to get approval. There's no way Bob Chapek is sitting in a meeting with Bob Iger and Chapek is making the final call. This was all strategic. Bob Iger is a manipulative person. I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, even though I don't like a lot of the things that Bob Iger has done as Disney CEO. He is a smart dude, and he knows what he's doing, and he got ahead of this. I know, I'm not saying Bob Iger knew that this was going to get this bad, but he clearly looked at the overseas situation, which is something that Disney relies heavily on with their theme parks and the box office and everything, and he saw that this was going to be a problem. He wanted to take a step back, and now he's moved back in as the hero, the one that's saving it all. This is obviously being put out there strategically by Disney. They have an entire PR team that does this stuff. So now, again, like I told you, Bob Iger still in control at the Walt Disney Company. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm going to be interested in how this applies to Lucasfilm, to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to the theme parks and everything, because if you look at Disney and the things that they have control of, even Disney Plus for that matter, the thing that I care most about, you would think would be Star Wars, not anymore, but even if Star Wars was hitting its stride, I would be more concerned with the theme parks. The theme parks is what I care about most. That's why we've created a park hopping channel here at Geeks and Gamers, and Drunk 3PO and Tugs and Krista and Geeky Candy are doing a great job over there, and we're building that up. But that's what I'm going to be most focused about, is what are they doing to, what are they going to do with the theme parks? Because a lot of construction is going on at Walt Disney World right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how this entire thing impacts it. But yes, if you look at the bigger picture with the MCU, with Pixar, with Lucasfilm, very interesting what's going to happen. There's no way Bob Chapek has the clout to make these decisions. There's no way. It's never going to happen. Bob Chapek can't fire Kathleen Kennedy. He can't tell Kevin Feige what to do. He just doesn't have that type of stroke. Never gonna happen. So again, as I said, Bob Iger still running Disney. Hilarious that anybody believed otherwise. This was a strategic game, well played by you, Disney and Bob Iger, but he was never not in control. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money, Raylos are weird, and we will talk to you later.